What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, helping you take your game to the next level. And I am back once again in the empty bunch formation in the Vikings playbook to break down another great play out of this formation. Now today, the play we're going to be looking at is the PA motion read. Now, if you've missed the previous plays I've broken down, I'll have them linked in the description below. Definitely check them out so that you can scheme all of this together. This is a pretty tough formation to defend if you scheme it right. Now, really quickly, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, go ahead and hit, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. I drop the best Madden tips on YouTube. You will not find better Madden tips on YouTube. Once you hit that subscribe button, you're going to want to go ahead and hit the bell icon right next to it. Basically, what that's going to do is notify you the second I drop a new video. Anytime I upload a new tip or some Madden 18 news or other gameplays, you will be notified the second it goes live so that you can always stay up to date. Now, this play right here is a really versatile play. There's a few different ways I like to run it. The first way is leaving the motion in there because it also works well if we want to run the run play, that it's also a quick audible. I'm not the biggest fan of the run play because I'm not the biggest fan of read options. The past couple years in the game, it's decent to run. I would still mix it in, of course, just so your opponent doesn't think, oh, you're going to pass every single play out of this formation, because it's definitely a pass-heavy formation. You should mix this in a little bit just to keep them honest. So I do leave the play action in the first setup, and all I'll do is just put the B wide receiver on an in route. Now, going against cover 2, the main two things we're going to do here is we're going to stay underneath if they play back. So we have this nice little drag that's a little bit of a deeper drag. So it's just, we're basically going to read high-low. If they're playing standard zone, that means everybody's going to drift back. With the deeper routes, we will have the drag over there. And then on this side of the field, we will have the in route, which we can rack, catch, and take for about 5+ yards over here. So if they play back, take your underneath stuff. Now, if they play underneath and put the hard flats on the field because you're dinking and dunking underneath, that's when it opens up the bigger routes for us, like this corner route here, which we get some huge yards out of. Break tackle, actually get a touchdown. So if you just have to really pay attention to what the defense is doing. If they play underneath, it's going to open up the deeper routes. If they're playing standard, which 80 to 90% of the time they're going to play standard and play back, you're just going to have to dink and dunk it underneath for your easy yards. Now, against a cover 3, this is also very good against a cover 3. The good thing about a cover 3 is these purple zones don't get out to the sideline quick enough, so you can actually hit this corner route versus a standard cover 3. You just want to pass lead it to the sideline and make sure to hold possession catch so that you get your feet down in bounds. Now, also against cover 3, this is actually a very good play against cover 3. We can hit this drag route underneath. We kind of want to possession catch it. 4 to 5 yards. It's not going to be the greatest gain, but it's going to be enough to keep us moving forward. And then also we're going to have the in route over here. Once it passes the zones, we can rack catch that again for about in the 4 to 6 yard range. Also against cover 3, though, you can hit this speed into the X wide receiver. You just want to wait for him to get into the nice little soft tender area of the field, and you want to pass lead it up. Actually, maybe that doesn't work against cover 3. Let me try that one more time. I thought that route did work against cover 3, but maybe it's actually not one of those consistent routes. Let me run this one more time and see. Alright, yeah, so you got to kind of, you don't want to pass lead that up. You want to pass lead that to the right. That was my mistake. I was thinking of another setup. So once it kind of clears that hook zone, you want to pass lead it to the right. So every route on this play is usable versus cover 3, which is really good about it. You're going to have, like I said, you have the, if you're expecting to cover 3, the corner routes where I'm going to look first because that's the easiest big chunk of yards. And then you have your underneath stuff that's going to get you about 4 to 6 yards, nothing crazy. And then if you have time in the pocket, if you know your opponent's not block shedding like crazy, that speed in route is going to be very good for you. Now against man, this is also a great play against man because first off, this corner route is unbumpable, and we got a bad pass there, but you saw the separation he had. So let's run it one more time. Having a pretty decent tight end here is, I would say, is a little bit better because you want that route running there. Because this isn't one of those corner routes that creates the most separation. It creates just enough to actually, you know, get a nice gain out of the play. But there are better corner routes in the game, so I would suggest good route running there just to give yourself more separation. Now, of course, also against man, we have these other unbumpable routes. We have the in route. We wait for him to cross over the middle of the field, and that's going to be a nice gain for us. This drag route is unbumpable as well, but if you don't have the greatest wide receiver here, you're not going to get a lot of separation. Now, Tajay Sharp is not really that good. He's getting a little bit of separation, but if you have a speed guy there, which I would recommend, put a speed guy there because you're going to get just tons of separation on that if you do so. And last but not least, we have the speed in route, one of the best man-beating routes in the game. Once this gets off the press and cuts in, we just want to pass lead it. We can rack catch that, and you can see go up the field. So this play is versatile versus all of these standard coverages in the game, and it's going to be something that is really powerful for us out of this formation. Now, I want to show you some alternate ways to set this up without the play action. One way I really love setting this up is just throwing my RB wide receiver on a flat, and that's it. And then I'll leave the B receiver on his fade. This flat route just gets so open. You can rack catch this versus any zone, and you're getting 5 to 10 yards literally every play. It's something about just the way the formation's lined up and the fact that you get control over the quarterback a little bit quicker in this play because it's meant to be a play action. So you don't really have the prolonged drop back. You can throw the ball a lot quicker. You can rack catch it, and you're guaranteed 5 to 6 yards at minimal if they're not playing any type of underneath coverage. As you see, that's a cover 2 we're throwing on. Now if we go cover 3, it's going to be even better because it'll be about the same actually because that cornerback will get down there. But it's just the easiest 5 to 6 yards you will get on any play in Madden 17. Most people aren't going to play underneath coverage, especially if you use the other plays out of this formation. We have a lot of big routes on the other plays, so you're not going to wind up with people playing a lot of underneath coverage. So this is an alternate setup I would throw at people, and you can just get, I mean, the easiest, he got a bad animation there, but otherwise the easiest 5 to 6 yards in the flat. It's just one of those wrinkles that's crucial to throw in because when your opponent, just when he thinks he has you figured out, and then you throw something like that at him, it's just more annoying things for him to have to key in on, and that's what makes it hard for you to get stopped in the game. Now, another setup I like to do sometimes, I'll streak RB and then put B on an in route. So now we basically have another deep route pulling these zones back. So when you do something like this against a cover 2, it's going to open up this X route against cover 2, which normally wouldn't be open. So that's, again, just another wrinkle you could throw at them. And then everything else plays out the same, you know, if you do it that way. Like, we'll run it one more time here against a cover 2. Basically, all this does is open up that X route against a cover 2. But you're still going to have the in route and the drag routes open underneath. Those are going to be the exact same for you. That's not going to ever change. Now we want to back out real quick. I want to show this versus nickel blitz and what I would typically do if someone's setting up nickel blitz against this. Because with the play action, the thing with this play is the play action will block nickel blitz beautifully, but you're not going to be able to have too many reads against nickel blitz with the play action in. But I will show it first. So let's say they're running nickel blitz. You see them setting it up. This is going to block nickel blitz great, and the best thing to do is to hit this X route. Once he kind of crosses over the middle, you're going to get huge yards against nickel blitz. That's the best route to attack nickel blitz with this play. But you know, a good player will user that. Now you'll also have, I'll show you. You can still, if they user that with nickel blitz, you should still be able to hit the in route pretty consistently. It won't be the biggest gain, but it's just that's where your check down is going to have to be. Well, actually, yes, it will be a big gain. I'm sorry, I'm kind of messing up in this video. It will be a big gain because that cornerback's going to try to chase the X route, but he's going to have too much of a gain on him. So if they run nickel blitz, that should be your first 2 reads. You're going to get the block every time out of this play. So you want to read X. If they're using X, you want to dump it off to that in route on the other side of the field, rack catch it for huge yards. Because as you see, that cornerback's going to follow X, but because of that speed in, he's going to burn them every time. Now, another great way to kill nickel blitz out of this is using the alternate setup that I just showed you with that drag route. Let's get this guy in here. They're not lining up right. Okay, so if you do that, the flat route, excuse me, if you do the flat route over here and you see them setting up nickel blitz, again, just an easy way to destroy nickel blitz for an easy 5 to 6 yards. It's going to work the same way. They are in a soft squat, so they will get down there a little bit quicker than the cloud flats and a typical Tampa 2. But when you're going against nickel blitz, your biggest thing is, can I block it? And if I can't block it, I need a quick read. And this is just the nickel blitz cannot get to you quicker than you can throw this flat route. And he dropped the ball, got a bad animation, but you pretty much get the idea. There's no way that nickel blitz is getting to you faster than you can throw this flat route. So that's why it's crucial to mix up the different types of hot routes you're throwing out here so that you can consistently have ways to beat these overpowered defenses in Madden 17. So, and like I said, last but not least, if you go to the run here, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of of read option this year, but basically you want to read the defender with the R over him. So if he stands up, you want to hold A and hand it off to the running back. If that defender crashes in, you just want to keep the ball with your quarterback. You don't have to press anything, and he'll just take off to the right. Now, when you have a fast quarterback, 9 out of 10 times, that defender is going to stand up and play the quarterback because he's expecting the quarterback to keep it. So if you have Mariota or like Kaepernick or Russell Wilson or Cam Newton, typically those defensive ends with the R over them are going to stand up to play the quarterback. So you can pretty much safely hand it off almost every play, as you're going to see here. See, and then just because I said that, he actually did play the running back. But the good thing about this read option is that even if he does crash in to play the running back, more times than not, even if you still hand it off, the running back will be fine. And I'm messing up in this video, guys. I apologize. I accidentally ran the play action again there, so let me run it again. But like I said, even if the defensive end crashes in to play the running back, see there, he stood up. So that was the right play to hand it off to the running back. But even if he crashes against the running back, usually you're going to be able to outrun him if you have a pretty speedy running back. But like I said, most of the time they're going to play the quarterback if there is a fast quarterback in the game. So just keep that in mind. Mix that in to keep your opponents honest. Now, if you enjoyed this video and the scheme, as always, just like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.